Bro, imagine you're just about to win and then the king of conveniences strikes again. But in all seriousness, these last chapters have all been crazier and crazier, and while I would say that Yuta was clearly the MVP of the last chapter, this chapter was mostly Yuji chapter, as not only we got to get a lot of information about his abilities, but we also got to see him cook with his curse technique against Sukuna. But it gets crazier as we not only get to see Megumi this chapter, but Maki also makes her entrance. But despite everything, I still do not think that Sukuna is done and there is way more for us to see. In this video, we are going to talk about Sukuna's states, Yuji's new abilities and what else is to come, as well as Maki and Megumi's character. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe. Let's get into it. The first crucial information that we need to know is that Yuta actually consumed Sukuna's last finger, and this of course allowed Yuta to add the technique to his arsenal. And with that being confirmed, I think the reason why Rika is way bigger and stronger is because of the finger and not just because of her bond with Yuta. I think Rika is currently some sort of a finger bearer. It might work a little different because she isn't a normal curse spirit. She is simply part of Yuta's curse technique, but I believe that strength factor still applies. After the cliff at the end of last chapter, we get to see Sukuna get jumped by Yuta, Yuji, and Rika. And this jumping might honestly be on the same level as the Mahito fight. And again, I can't wait for all this to be animated. Sukuna gets hit by so many brutal blows from Yuji and gets weaker and weaker every single time, meaning that he keeps taking more and more damage and loses the edge as the fight continues. After realizing what position he is in, he decides to release his Olo Wicker basket, and by doing that, even though he would allow himself to get hit by the sure hit of Yuta's domain, he would also get the chance to chant for his Sword Cutting Slash, which was his best win condition at the moment. He then gets hit by the sure hit of Yuta's domain, which of course was Jacob's Ladder. Angel confirms to us that Jacob's Ladder will kill Megumi along with Sukuna, and the only way to avoid this would be for Yuji to keep hitting Sukuna with his soul-splitting blows. By severing the connection, there would be a possibility to exterminate Sukuna while preserving Megumi's life, and this was exactly what they were going for. So as Sukuna was getting hit by Jacob's Ladder, Yuji took the opportunity to go and see Megumi. But to everyone's surprise, Megumi does not care anymore. I'll expand more on that later. But by using this opportunity, Sukuna manages to come back and hit Yuta, Rika, and Yuji with a World Cutting Slash. From the way things are looking, Yuta is completely getting split in half, and it should technically be over for Yuji and Rika as well. But we know that Sukuna's output is very low and it might as well be below 10 fingers at the moment. Now I don't know how this works for the World Cutting Slash. Since the technique was hyped up to be absolute, I don't know if the amount of curse energy or the output really matters. So we'll have to wait until next chapter to see if they survive or not. But Sukuna gets sneaked by Maki right after and stabbed in the back. But after seeing Maki at the end, he smiles. This could mean one of two things. He could just be very excited after seeing what they were able to pull off, or he could be smiling because he's not done yet. And I think it's a little bit of both. Sukuna is actually proud of everything that's happening, but it isn't over yet. The reason why I think he's still alive is because there are a lot of abilities that we didn't get to see yet. Sukuna's secret techniques have not yet been explained. We still do not know the origin of the fire arrow, and we don't know if Sukuna has the ability to wield other elements. Sukuna not getting his domain back is fine to me because that sounds like the win con, because I don't see how anyone will survive him getting his domain, because not even Maki will be safe. There's also the fact that I don't think Sukuna will die before Urame, and I also refuse to believe Urame got off screen. In my opinion, things are looking pretty bad right now, and this is the perfect moment for a perspective switch. Now will be the perfect moment to go over to Hakari versus Urame. Or show us a flashback of Maki going to help Hakari with her before getting back to fight Sukuna. And only after Urame is done, we'll get to see all of Sukuna's final abilities. But now, even though Sukuna will be weakened, there will no longer be a Yuta's domain sure hit, meaning that Maki and whoever is going to fight him is going to fight him on equal footing. It will be the perfect time for Sukuna to reveal his other abilities that aren't slashes, which will be the perfect setup for a final battle. You can let me know how you feel about this in the comments, but for me personally, Sukuna dying before Urame without revealing any technique will be crazy. But now it is time to talk about Yuji and all of his confirmed abilities. But before we get into it, I have an announcement for you. If you're looking for some good quality clothing at a good price, look no further than Anime Express. Whether you're looking for comfort or style, they would have everything you need. Literally everything from all of your favorite series. Of course, they have Jujutsu Kaisen, but they also have a multitude of other series. And on top of basic clothing, they have all sorts of accessories, whether it is for you or simply to decorate your house. Things such as bonnets, rings, lights, or whatever you would want. If you want to support my channel or simply get some good clothing for yourself, go over at animeexpress.store. And before your purchase, don't forget to use code GodlyOmen10 for 10% off. Hopefully you find something for you, and thanks to Anime Express for sponsoring this video. And now let's talk about our favorite main character. So what I said before about Yuji actually ended up being true. The soul-splitting blows aren't a curse technique. It is something that he learned from Yuki's search on the soul. His clash with Mahito might also be related to this. But the simplest way to put it is that Yuji has the rare ability to perceive the soul. He is even able to perceive the line in between two souls in the same body, and has the ability to strike that line in order to sever the connection. This doesn't have anything to do with a technique, and his real curse technique is blood manipulation, which is probably an ability that he got from eating the death paintings. We still don't know if Yuji has a natural curse technique that he's supposed to get, or if he will get Sukuna's powers, but for now this is all we have. He has the ability to shoot piercing blood like we saw when Higuruma was fighting Sukuna, and there were just so many examples about it being so obvious. Like, what would Choso and Kamo have in common? What would they both be teaching Yuji? Especially right after we got the confirmation of Yuji eating the death paintings, on top of being related to Choso. Things were just pretty obvious, but I always told them as theories because I wouldn't like to mislead anyone. I would always rather wait for things to be confirmed before I tell them straight up. But in this fight we get to see Yuji making his blood explode, which I don't think we've seen before. This could either be Yuji's own use of the technique or another death painting ability that we did not know. But in any case, it is very impressive. But now I want to talk about Maki arriving at the scene. As I said before, Maki was going to play an important role in this fight. This wasn't anything crazy to predict. I feel like anybody that wasn't trolling would have known that. Having the soul split katana as well as heavenly restriction, she's too important of a character. There was just no way for her to serve no role in this fight. It was only a matter of time before she got there. And the two main theories I had were Maki going to help Hakari with Yurame, or Maki going to get Nobara. I believe the answer will be revealed at the beginning of next chapter. But there's also a possibility that she was just waiting for the perfect opportunity this whole time. But I still gonna find that hard to believe. I feel like her participating in the jumping inside of Yuta's domain would have been perfect, especially with the fact that Sukuna cannot sense her. Adding her to the team while they are jumping Sukuna inside his domain would have been painful for him, especially with the weapon that she has. So I would still like to believe that she was doing something important, and she only now got the opportunity to enter the domain and help with the fight. Honestly, I don't get the fraud agenda things for the most part. Sometimes I understand with characters like Kashimo or Sukuna is kind of a joke and it's funny sometimes, but I don't even know how this could even apply to Maki. There was just no way Maki would be any form of fraud. I don't think the missing Yuta jokes were true, but it was still kind of funny. Even though they don't really make sense, some of the Kashimo jokes are funny. Or even for Sukuna when he was fighting Gojo. But at least you can understand where they come from. In Maki's case, I don't even understand where you find that joke. Out of every character, for anybody to assume that she wasn't going to be here was just crazy. But trolls are always going to be trolls, but for people that genuinely believe that Maki wasn't going to show up, I don't know what to tell you. And lastly, we gotta talk about Megumi. I'm not gonna lie, I'm so disappointed in Megumi for not coming back, but at the same time I gotta admit this is great writing. This really shows to us the difference between a character like Yuji and Megumi. Megumi had to watch himself hurt Angel and Yuji. He then got his soul soaked by the bath, and then watched himself flirt with his own sister and then kill her, to then go and kill Gojo. Of the people he cared about personally has been taken out by himself. This is the equivalent of Sukuna taking control of Yuji's body in Shibuya and killing Nobara and Nanami himself. This is basically what it would feel like. But even with all the praise that we give Yuji for pushing through in Shibuya, it was because of the help of Todo. Even though he wasn't the one to kill Nanami and Nobara, he still had a mental breakdown and was going to let Mahito finish it all. If it wasn't for Todo coming to save him and give him a speech, things would have been the exact same as Megumi at the moment. So you can't really blame Megumi for that either. I wanna make a separate video talking about this concept. So this is what the next video will be about. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, but only if you enjoyed. I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers and I'm counting on you all for that. You can also see multiple options on your screen for whatever you would like to do. You have a couple videos that could be interesting for yourself, or you can just click here to directly access my channel and get the chance to see everything for yourself. Maybe you will find a video or a topic that is interesting for you. I hope you enjoyed and I will see you all next time. Peace.